Okay, so where do you think? You said the basement, right? It's where this thing would be.
Well, I mean, that's where they usually stick the nodes and stuff. I mean, it's not someplace I want completely accessible, but yeah, I think we need to head over to the office building. Unless you find anything interesting here to look around, I think we should let them be. I have not found any sort of thing that sticks out as far as being a node or anything for me to jack into. So what we need will be in the office building. Did you need anything else, Yonkers, as far as you're concerned? You want to take the lead, or you want to kind of hang back on this one? And I suppose I can take the lead. And by the way, he hands it back to Mossberg, because Case really would probably end up shooting his own leg off with it.
I'll take point. We don't know what else is hanging around in here, but we can probably ask for directions at this point. Pretty sure that Grognak the Barbarian might be a little bit more helpful now that we've ensured his further longevity. Maybe he knows where we can find some of those old trids, too.
Yeah, he may know where... His wife would probably definitely know where the node is. I didn't even think about that. So, yeah. Did you want to ask him, or you want me to see if I can get her attention?
Yeah, go see if you can get her attention.
All right. Do I see do I see her any icon that would indicate her anywhere around by any chance?
Yeah, you see a persona that corresponds to who you now know as Kira.
Gonna do a hack on the fly.
Okay.
And I'm going to edge it now that I think about it. 6 successes.
Or you got 1 net, or no, wait a minute, you got 3 net hits.
I pop up a little message. Would you happen to know where there's a node to the host or wireless access? Smiley face. Winky smiley face.
You get a response that says, we have no hosts or nodes here.
Possibly in the other building.
She says, is this what you seek for your quest?
This is what I seek for my quest.
In the other building downstairs, there is some old electronic equipment. What you seek may be found there.
And before I go, I'm going to set her ringtone to Barracuda. All right, so we will head that way.
All right.
All right.
So as you get back into the office building and you get to the stairs, a foul stench of death, decay, and sewage emanates from the bottom of the cluttered stairs. With the amount of garbage and debris clogging the stairwell, only the most nimble runners will be able to navigate it safely. So, first thing I want you guys to do is everybody needs to make a composure test.
1 success.
I also got 1 success.
Well, this composure test is because of all the nasty everything that is there, and you all kind of it's really overwhelming how disgusting this whole area is. There's nasty smells coming up from old water and rotting, detritus and probably feces and carcasses and all this kind of stuff. And your character probably is doing is coughing and retching, and everybody kind of has to take a moment to get to gather themselves and cough and get over the disgusting Davros vomits because because he's Davros.
Right.
Oh, this is nasty. Do we even want to go here, guys? Anybody having to bring any gas masks?
Yonkers puts on his respirator.
Good move. Well, you'll be able to get down there, and it's just gonna take you a couple minutes to kind of catch your breath and really get over what's going and convince yourself that you need to be down there. And And it's really difficult. Also, by the way, these stairs are clogged with a bunch of stuff. You're gonna have to climb over stuff. You're gonna be climbing over, mold that's built up, also debris, dead devil rats and all this kind of stuff. So everybody's also gonna have to make a gymnastics test. And if you don't have gymnastics, that's agility -1.
Case looks over at Davros. Can't you summon a potpourri spirit or something? Maybe a stiff wind blowing away from us?
I don't think so. I don't think that's a thing.
Case gets 2 hits out of 3 dice.
All right. Well, you all slip on the nastiness and fall down the stairs. You all have to roll your body plus your armor. You get your armor this time to resist 6 stun damage as you fall down the stairs. This is like Yonkers' best day, like he's gonna get beat up by a guy who thinks he's Neil the Orc Barbarian and then fall down the stairs and get knocked out again. How many hits did you get, Yonkers?
10.
All right, you're good. You fall, but you catch yourself and you're okay.
I got 4.
5 for me.
Case has 2 stun, and Davros has 1 stun from falling. You guys all, cartoon style, slip and fall down the stairs on top of each other, and you're in kind of a pile at the bottom of the stairs in a bunch of muck, and it's disgusting. You're covered in slime, and there's probably some devil rat dookie on you, and
Grumble, grumble, foul words under my breath.
the bottom of the stairs opens into a corridor covered in about 20 centimeters of stagnant sewer water that you guys just fell into, and the occasional remains of small animals float on the surface. A series of small rooms are on either side of this hall. The doors have long since been smashed open. You can see the remains of what were probably editing rooms a long time ago. And at the end of the corridor is a closed door through the bottom meter, although the bottom meter's worth has been gnawed open, possibly from, what you think to be devil rats now. The data center at the end of that currently has no power.
I click on the light for my shotgun again and start sweeping the room.
Case is going to be an AR. See if he sees any icons at all, any indication of anything.
There's no real icons that you can find in AR. Like I said, it's very obvious to Case especially that there's no power down here. You guys, when you get to the end of that, the hallway, and in these rooms, you find a room that looks like it was the data center with some servers that were set up. This, what looks like probably was the main server center and data center for Brilliant Genesis in the past. But everything's powered down. There's no power to anything. Go ahead and give me, how about, you have a hardware skill, I'm sure.
Correct.
Go ahead and roll hardware plus logic.
No, yeah, 4 successes.
Yeah, you can tell that the power is off, and you're going to have to run some sort of a power line down into this room. It looks like all this tech was kind of pre-crash 2.0. So it's going to require a direct connection into this server to download it. You're not going to be able to access it wirelessly, but before you can do any of that, you're going to have to run power down into here.
Okay, and when I was searching for any kind of floor plan or schematics or anything on the building, I found nothing, right?
No, you didn't really find anything like that for this. This is an old building that's been out for quite a while, as is a lot of the stuff in the containment zone. But you can, based on that hardware test that you made with your 4 hits, you know that you can probably run power here. You remember there was power to at least the soundstage part. They were turning on lights and stuff and whatnot. So there may be a generator up there or something like that. That's the only thing you've seen where there's any kind of a power source.
All right, I am going to make a call to Sheila. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. Kira, and ask for permission from the lowly to borrow the honorable orc guy's power.
She responds and says, "You need a power line to be run down there?"
Yes.
One moment, I must speak with my mate. And she responds back and says, "Come back to the village, and we will show you."
That means we got to go back up those stairs, huh? I will head that way. You guys are going to stay here or go back up with me?
Go back up those stairs? I don't know. What do you do, Yonkers?
As I said, let's stay as a group.
All right. Well, they've got a power line we can run down here, but we got to go back up and get it. So I guess off we go.
You guys should be able to get back up the stairs a lot easier than you got down it, because when you came down, you kind of, a lot of the slime and muck and debris attached itself to you as you fell. So when you guys get back up the stairs and you enter back into the soundstage area with all the trees, there's some music playing now, and there's dancing going on, and everybody's kind of celebrating, and Neil sees you guys walk in and says, "Friends, you seem to be having a time of it, I see." And he's looking at your clothing.
Camouflage from the devil rats.
Interesting camouflage technique, but those devil rats can be pesky. If you haven't been attacked yet, I will not question your methods. Haha. Now, my mate here tells me that you need some assistance with something.
Yes, we need power down to the machines in the basement so that we can finish our mighty quest.
I am not one who would stand in the way of a noble quest like this. So, the power that we run to our lights here comes from back over there in that cave. I have I have a cable that you can run from there down into the basement if it is what you require to get the items you need.
It is.
Then go. He points
All right.
to the other side of the village, quote unquote. There's a a cave over there, a cave, quote unquote. It's just a made up cave kind of thing over there.
All right, we'll go, and I'll kind of let Yonkers lead the way.
All right. Well, when you guys get in, it's a large opening on the far side of the facility that's been designed to look like a primitive cave entrance. Once you're inside there, you come to a large room it looks like it was probably an employee lounge at some point. The decorations have been replaced to look more sort of primitive to match the facility's theme. But you can see a generator there, and there's a big old cable that you can use to run power down into the bottom.
I'll start unfurling the cable slowly behind me.
All right, and you guys are just unraveling it and pulling it all the way to downstairs, right? Down into the basement?
Yep. And looking for the nearest jack to hook it up to, or, is there any sort of, power breakers or anything down here?
Not that you would be aware of. I mean, Case can easily see what needs to be hooked up to restore power to the area. I mean, this is kind of his specialty. And he was able to identify all that the first time he was down there looking around. So he's able to hook up the power back up and everything, but it's kind of outside of your wheelhouse.
I listen dutifully to Case.
Plug the doohickey in the thingamajig over there, and we'll be good.
All right. So everything kind of lights up, and as I said, you're able to look at it. It's all old pre-crash 2.0 technology, so you can get it, but you'll have to hook directly into it to do it.
Okay, Case walks over to the jack point and starts feeding out this wire from his temple, and jacks in directly to the node.
It's not going to be difficult for Case to get this information, but it's going to take him a couple minutes. While he's doing that, Becky99 did ask that you guys look for some other stuff. Would Davros and Yonkers like to be looking around for TRID recording files that are supposed to be somewhere around there?
Just looking for, storage containers, file cabinets, things like that.
All right. Well, you guys can look for that, and we'll make this kind of a teamwork perception search test. So who wants to lead it, and who wants to be the assist?
Why don't you assist, and I'll lead.
Okay.
All right. So Davros, go ahead and roll a perception test first. All right. It's been about 15 minutes. By 15 minutes, you haven't found everything yet, but after 15 minutes, Case is finished. And Case, you see that everybody's looking around, and you can join in now if you'd like to help them look.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll a quick perception test. And Davros, do the same thing.
3 success.
All right, well, after Case comes and joins you, and you guys spend a total of about 20 minutes searching, you find 5 files of recordings that were done by an old this is what she was looking for. There was, towards the end of Brilliant Genesis's lifespan, before they kind of went under and the whole area kind of was destroyed, they had tried to save themselves at the same time that they were making this theme park. They tried this reality trid show where they would attach trid recording devices to everyday people that around Chicago, and this is what Becky 99 was looking for, because she thought, maybe these types of recordings would have caught general recordings of the Chicago containment zone area back in the day that would interest a lot of the people that were still alive now, that remember back then. But anyway, you find 5 different large files of that type, and you'll have to scrub them in order for them to even be useful, because they're kind of corrupted and all that kind of stuff, which is just a software test that Case could handle, but you'd have to do them one at a time, and it might take a little bit of time to do them, but it might be worth it to get that to Becky 99, to take the time to do it, and well, I mean, it would have to be scrubbed for that to be even useful for her anyway, for her to want to pay you for it.
All right. Well, I will start on that in the van once we get our way out of here.
All right.
Unless there's something else we need to do down here. Anything else look interesting or eye-catching?
Unless you find devil rat poop to be interesting, then no.
Yeah, I think we got our paydays. Let's get out of here.
Okay, so I make sure to wave at Neil and his mate on the way out. Kind of give his mate a thumbs up and a wink.
Neil yells back to you all and says, "Friends, did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah.
Be more than welcome to come join us in this celebration. We're getting a doctor."
We may just have to do that. It was a pleasure meeting you and your mate. I am give her the my trid code and said we should need to keep in touch, and if you ever have need of us, please let us know. We will be in town for a little while, and if your need is great, we might even come back and give you assistance.
Well, if you'd like, you can join us for a cup of grog. Cronmac makes it special here. And he grabs this guy standing next to him in tribal, and he says, "It's his specialty."
Tell you what, I'll trade you, when we come back, I'll trade you a cup of grog for a shot of scotch. How does that sound?
You are a man that I believe I can be friends with. I will take you up on that when you return.
Can I get a roadie? A grog for the road?
Yes, I will fill a skin of grog for you. And he grabs a skin and he hands it to you, and it's like, he calls it a skin, but it's a canteen.
Awesome. Yonkers starts practicing his alcoholism.
Casey kind of looks at Yonkers and says, so this grog stuff is real?
All right, give me a composure test.
Do I get bonuses for being a professional alcoholic?
Sure. Give yourself a +2 to your composure test.
You saying Yonkers has had some toilet gin a time or two in his life?
Probably more like, I don't know. Again, professional alcoholic, used to be in prison more than a time or two. 5 hits.
All right, so you take a swig from the skin of grog, and it tastes pretty much as bad as any alcohol you've ever tasted in your life. It tastes, like turpentine that's had its bad flavors masked with some sort of orange juice and pineapples or something like that, and it's pretty terrible. But you managed to keep a straight face. But the good news is, for someone like Yonkers, the good news is that there is definitely lots of alcohol in there.
That's what I was hoping.
All right, so he pats you guys on the back and laughs heartily as you leave.
Let's go cash in. I have a mighty need to beat someone's face in.
So as you're headed back, let's go ahead and roll a couple of quick software tests to see how much of this stuff you can get scrubbed. After you guys get back to the vault, you've managed to scrub 2 of them. There's 3 left that you can work on, and it looks like it's taking you about 15 minutes each.
What's the rule for buying hits? Can I just buy the rest of these?
So what's your soft?
It's 11 dice.
I think it might be okay for you to buy the hits. Let me see. So 11, it's 4. Every 4 dice you get a hit. So yeah, that was an excellent suggestion. An excellent use of buying hits. So you guys have managed to get all 5 of those scrubbed. So who are you going to talk to first?
I think Doc is probably the best place to go first. Get our payday, get me patched up, and then Case can go off and hand off the files thereafter.
Yeah, so when you guys go see Dr. Martin Tate, he greets you and he says, "Ah, great news. You have my files, I take it."
Yeah, here they are. We also, friend Yonkers here could probably use a little look at the head here. He took a bit of a hit.
Of course, as promised, free medical care for you for your time here in Chicago. I am quite grateful. This is going to go a long way to helping me get this clinic set up, and you've even managed to acquire a security contract for me. You guys have done a very good job here. I'm very pleased.
I just wanted to again prepare you. This guy's not an orc. He's not a barbarian. I think he's just has been in Chicago too long. But he's good at what he does.
I understand. He's not the first unstable person I've dealt with here in the containment zone. I think we'll be okay.
Watch out for his left hook.
Well, why don't you come sit here, Yonkers, and let me and my staff take a look at you, and we'll have you on your way. So if you spend the rest of the evening there, or the rest of the night there, because it's fairly late, you can just consider yourselves having been healed up. The rest of you can also, any stun damage that you have can have been healed up. Just so you know, over the course of the night. I know you're going to do something else, like go see Becky 99 and whatnot.
I was just asking Yonkers, you just want to kind of heal up tonight and go see her the next day? I think it's probably the best plan.
You can go ahead. I don't think you need to have me there.
All right. So while he's resting up, I will head there, and Davros can come with me if you like.
Yep, I'll tag along.
We go see good old Becky.
She says, "Ah, perfect." When she sees you with the files and you hand them over, she says, "Thank you so much for recovering these. This is a critical part of Chicago's past, and many of those who called the fine city home died during the invasion and of the bugs and the turmoil that follows. And the images that are contained here in this archive could give a lot of closure to some of the families here."
Well, that's good to hear. So what was the deal that we had with these then?
She said she would give you 500 each just for looking, plus 500 each for each recording that you brought back, and you brought back 5. So that's 2,500 plus 5. You guys each get an extra 3,000 new yen.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking at what it would take to go up against the champ in the vault.
Matt Wrath.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming he fights here regularly. I'm going to watch him fight a couple times, sort of gauge him.
From what you can tell from watching him, he seems to be similarly skilled, but he has kind of a slightly different approach. He's not as fast, but he's more brutish. Like he hits a lot harder. He's a little bit slower, but he's got quite a heavy hit.
Yeah, I'll schedule the fight.
Okay, so the manager says to you, you looking to fight Matt Wrath?
Yeah.
No, I mean, far be it from me to question a man who wants a fight, but who the frag do you think you are to go up against this guy?
Someone who survived the prison yard rules.
Well, first things first, you're not a name around here, so it's gonna take an entry fee.
Yeah, how much?
We're gonna need 500 new yen up front because people are gonna want to bet on this, and the bookies need. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here. We don't know who you are. If you were a well-known name, then we'd be looking to let you in. Just to let you in because you'd draw a crowd. But we don't know who you are. I don't know if anybody's gonna. You never know if people are gonna come and watch just some newcomer rookie get their face beat in by Matt Wrath. No offense intended.
Yeah, well, consider it a warm-up for the night. But I'll put the 500 down.
All right. Now, what name should I put down?
Yonkers.
Yonkers. What kind of name is that?
It's a place I was born. Upstate New York.
I see. Kind of man who takes pride in his roots, huh?
Something like that.
All right, well, let me see what I can find out for you. We could probably do a fight for 2 days from now, 2 nights from now. How does that sound?
And probably rumble with that.
All right. Now, normally our fights are non-lethal, just so you're aware in case you didn't already.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will make this proposal to Matt. He doesn't normally turn down fights. He's the kind of guy who likes to get in there and tussle, but he does, of course, have the prerogative to turn it down. I'll let you know if anything changes, but tentatively, let's say that your fight's going to be here 2 nights from now.
Yonkers is going to start sorting some stuff out with Lido. I'm going to try and make this my deed for initiation.
Yeah, understood. So Lido comes to you and he says, "So, you're looking to take on this champ, huh?"
Looking to redeem myself a little bit in your eyes.
Yeah, well, I don't like to pass too much judgment, but you kind of been slacking a little bit on on teaching people lessons, if you know what I mean.
Well, can't win them all,
But you
I'll have
gotta
to say
win
that-
some of them sometimes, huh? Well, this Mad Wrath guy, he's a pretty big fella.
Yeah, but he's slow.
Well, I've seen you tussle, so if you can give me a little taste of that old Yonkers violence and wrath, show Matt Wrath a little bit of that wrath, if you know what I'm saying, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Leto even specifically says to you, hey, if you take on this guy and you can pull this off, I think I might be pleased enough to send a little bit of the fun mojo your way. All right. Well, 2 nights go by.
So Yonkers is going to take a hit of jet before going into the ring.
All right. Well, it's now August 1st, the night of the fight. Does everybody go to watch Yonkers fight at the vault?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, you guys still haven't seen Malibu, but Haunted House is there, and he pulls out the same music as he did for Malibu. He pumps it up a little bit more, plays a different song, but it's just as rousing. He's using his RCC to pipe music to the whole place and getting everybody pumped up, and they announce Yonkers out, and Yonkers comes on out, and do you give any kind of a flourish or anything, or are you stoic and concentrated?
Yonkers is pulling the stoic kind of dead-eye, the Mike Tyson or whatever, just focusing on the guy of the devil's eye, the dead eye, the Matt Murdock.
All right, so people see him come out, and they go, ooh, and then as Yonkers gets out, then Matt Wrath comes out, And then everybody starts to cheer because Matt is a crowd favorite. He comes out and he raises his arms and kind of, he's not one of these showboaty types, but he does definitely understand that the crowd loves him, and they're the people who make him so successful and keep wanting to come back and watch him fight. So he gives them a little attention, and raises arms up and gets into the ring and turns and faces people and turns to the other side and faces them and waves and the announcer says, comes in and tells you guys the rules and says, all right, these fights are strictly non-lethal. There's not a lot of rules here, but that is one of them. So I don't want to see anybody popping anybody's heads off or anything. You guys understand? Wrath nods, and he says, he extends his fist to kind of like give you, like a sportsman like fist bump,
I just gently tap fists.
And he says, all right, if you guys are ready to go, this is the referee speaking, or whoever officiates the fights. He says, and if you guys are ready to go, then we'll get this party started.
Just as a retroactive, what are the odds they're putting on me with the bookies?
There's a 5-1 for Matt Wrath to win.
All right, I'll put 1,000 on myself because, gusto.
Sure thing. Anybody else want to put any bets down on either Wrath or Yonkers?
No.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
If I could make it a little bit more of a sure thing, I probably would have.
Come on, Davros, you just got paid.
I don't know. I think Davros would feel more comfortable betting on his uncle. He just saw Yonkers get beat down. So
the referee kind of has you guys go into your corners, and he stands in the middle, and he does the whole raising his arm, and then drops it down, and you hear a ding ding. And we'll go ahead and roll initiative. All right, Yonkers is up first.
Yonkers is going to open with his standard stagger for the one that gives the -5. Yeah, I'm just going to open with a solid punch to the gut. For 2 successes. You know what? No, I'll use my first edge for that.
All right, gonna start strong here. You are trying to initiate, after all.
So that's 10 dice.
You said 5 hits you got, right? And that's 2 net hits, so that's 9 stun. And he takes a very solid hit. You come at him. In fact, why don't you describe exactly how it is that you hit him?
So Yonkers starts with his sort of hands down at the sides, and as Matt Wrath gets up and gets ready to move in, Yonkers essentially steps out from his right and does like an uppercut, just real fast and strong into his gut, throwing his whole weight behind it, and just knocks, trying to bend him over.
And Matt Wrath, he takes it really well. He's a big guy, and he takes the hit really well, but he's definitely visibly affected by that attack. And he comes back at you. Give me a reaction plus intuition for defense.
7 hits.
Oh, wow. Okay, he misses you. He comes in with a very heavy swing, and he reaches up and brings his fist down to, he kind of furrows his brow at the same time, like he's a little shocked that you hit him, and he's like, I'm not taking any of this. And he comes back and he gives his best swing, and he's moving actually pretty fast for a guy his size, but you're quicker than that, and you dodge right out of the way.
All right. I'm going to called shot for extra damage. So I think it's vitals. Sidestep and just elbow him in the temple. All right, so 3 hits.
All right, you miss. He's able to dodge out of the way. He suddenly kind of like has a moment of clarity and rolls out of the way after recovering from his missed strike against Yonkers. So he's going to respond with a strike of his own. So roll me a defense.
5 hits.
And he misses. He seems to be like really, you're pretty intuitive about things like this. You've been into a lot of fights, especially hand-to-hand fights and street fights one-on-one in your days, spent in prison. And you also spent a lot of time watching him. You can tell that he seems to be really off-put by that first strike that you made that was so on point. Like he's not used to fighting people like this, especially you being a newcomer, and he just didn't expect this from you, and it seems to kind of be throwing him.
All right, I'm going to try nothing fancy this time. I'm just going to just going to give him some more, solid hits. 6 successes.
Oh, you got 3 net hits on him. He got hit. You hit him and he felt it, but not quite as bad as last time. But you get to go again.
All right. Yonkers is just going to try and take this over and give him a vicious uppercut. Put him out of his misery with another 6 successes.
Wowie.
Use all your edge. I've already used up all of mine.
Ooh, you missed. Yeah, 1 more edge, so I'll use it wisely. Yonkers is up again. He's going for the 3rd time in a row, so Yonkers is moving really fast here. He's, again, taking really strong advantage of the fact that Matt Rath was not prepared for such a good competitor.
Seeing as he's going at 24 and I dislike him having additional actions, I'm going to do another stagger. And going to, now that I have the uppercut, so I have an arm up in the air, I'm going to sidestep and take that arm and try and cup him on the ear and disorient him. For 6 successes!
Wow. See, now I have to decide, do I use this last point of edge to help him avoid the attack, or do I save it for when he has to resist a base of 7 stun plus whatever net hits? This is a tough choice. I'm going to try to get him to avoid the attack. Oh, you got 1 net hit on him. So what, that's 8 stun he's defending against?
8 stun, and he's now going on 19.
That's right. Let me change that first. I have a feeling it's not going to matter. Oh, man. All right, so you come down. So that's what happens. You guys are trading some blows, dodging some. You've hit him a couple of times. You started off real strong and almost knocked the wind out of him at the beginning. And he came at you and missed a couple of really heavy-handed blows. And you came back at him, gave him another little, love tap here. Then you went to uppercut him and missed. And when you came back down and smacked him on the head, like you said, cupping his ears, it just totally knocked him the wind out of him. Not exactly the wind out of him, but totally knocked him out, and he is on the ground and not getting up. And the referee comes by and does the count. 1, 2, and everybody's like freaking out. They're like, "Oh my God!" And he counts him out and raises up Yonkers' arm, and he says, "And we have an upset! The newcomer, Yonkers, defeats the reigning champion, Matt Rath. Let's hear it for Yonkers!" And everybody is going wild. You hear a fair amount of boos as well.
Yeah, I'm about to get beat up by the Mafia for wrecking their money.
You feel adrenaline pumping and you feel your mentor spirit, positive vibes just flowing through you. Like Leto seems to be very, very pleased that you may not have drugged this out or anything, but you took down someone who is a very strong fighter, and you showed in front of a large group of people that that Yonkers is not someone to be messed with when it comes to this type of thing. So consider yourself initiated.